given each of us to express our opinions, cast our vote, and tonight we see that change take place. We ask for patience, we ask for kindness, we ask for wisdom as we make decisions that affect so many lives. We ask for your continued blessing on this board, on this school district, and the people of Levy County. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, we're going to proceed to our swearing-in ceremonies, and we will begin with our new superintendent being sworn in. So at this time, we ask for Judge Bustamante and Mrs. Boyle to come on up.
Because I got some words to say. When I was asked to do this from Ms. Boyle, I was highly honored. And it's one of those things that, as the superintendent, you are the leader of education here in our small county, Levy County. You have, is it 13 schools that you're dealing with?
We have the
I don't want you to
public,
name all of them,
11.
make sure.
We have 11, 2 charters.
And 2 charter schools, and you
Right.
still have to
So we have the 9 and 2 charters.
And as I was going through her past, and one of the things that always impressed me is the fact is that her grandmother was a teacher. And that's something that inspired you to go into education. She grew up in Connecticut,
Yes.
I want to say, in Thomaston, Connecticut.
Yes, sir.
And that her grandmother started by teaching inside of her place. And then I think it went into a one-room classroom for about so many years and stuff like that. What a wonderful way to get into education, because I think education is something that's very important. And I have mentioned this before, both of my parents were teachers, and so I have nothing but the highest regard for the profession, because you make such a difference in the next generation, all right? Not only that, but she didn't stop at a high school, but she also, at night, would attend her, what they used to call junior colleges back, now they're called state colleges. But she went for about 3 years at night at Broward, and I think at the time it was called Community or Junior College.
Correct, Broward Community.
And then also St. Pete Junior College, but I'll let you know that my wife went to St. Pete Junior College too. But that did not stop her in her way to education. When she became a mother to Jimmy, and she said late in life, I think she was still a young, young lady back then. I never mentioned the age because I know it's better than that for me to say anything like that. But she, I'm pretty sure I can see this, that she was dedicated to make sure that he got the best education that he could. And so Jimmy went to school not only in Chiefland Elementary School, but also middle high school. And she went there every single day. She was there for, 13 years that you decided that you were going to do 4,000 hours of community service as a mother, as a volunteer. The things that she accomplished are, to me, extremely amazing. And that is how dedicated she is to this community. And for somebody to work herself up from a volunteer to leading the school system, I applaud you. I mean, I think that... With that, I think that her experience as a businesswoman, I know her husband, Jimmy, you guys own an ultrasound business, my understand?
Yes.
And on top of that, as a mother, and also doing the things for the school board. I mean, she got elected back in 2020, and then within 3 years, you were president, or not, excuse me, chairperson of the board, and there was a lot of obstacles on her way, because she had a vision for this county. And she understood that the way that this school system was being run needed to be different. And you know something she did? She ran. And she stuck to her guns, and she won. And for that, I am very proud of you. And I am so happy that you're part of our community. And it is my pleasure for me to go ahead and swear you in. And Jimmy, can you please come in here? And we hold the Bible, all right? And then what's going to happen, your mother's going to come here, because I'm sure she's very proud of you, and I want to make sure that I have the best angles for the cameras. And so if I'm going to do a little, this is important. And if you would please, well, you know something? I am you. This is the important picture here. I'm just on the side. All right? And
The
I
middle
want you
might
to
be the
repeat
best.
after me. Oh, this one. Oh, you're not doing it here. This is wonderful. Even better. Yeah, absolutely. That one. Now, you're not taking a plea in a criminal case, all right? All right? So I'm gonna do this, please repeat after me, and if you want me to do, because when I did my swearing in, I messed up. I'm just letting you know. I told them, tell me 2 lines, and then I forgot. And so I'm only reading, I only went because I was nervous, all right? Yeah, I do get one, all right. So, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Florida.
and the state of Florida,
And that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution
under the Constitution
of the state,
of the state,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully perform
and faithfully perform
the duties of
the duties of
Superintendent of Schools,
Superintendent of Schools,
on which I am about to enter.
on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Now, I'm going to pass it on to a much better judge than I am. And I'm sure she's going to get it everything seamlessly. All right, thank you.
Thank you for throwing me under the bus, Judge Montague. I wasn't prepared to give a history. But I've known both of these ladies for a long time, so I probably can do some ad libbing. But I'm a 7th or 8th generation Levy County, and I spent over 10 years in this room sitting where David Delaney is sitting as school board attorney until December of 2012, and that's when December 31st, 2012, I was no longer the school board attorney and then no longer in private practice, and I became the county judge in Gilchrist County. But who am I going to start with? Linda Campbell. No, Lisa Baxter. I can't do BC.
B comes before C.
So,
That was
Lisa, I started school in Chiefland, and we didn't have kindergarten back in those days. You just went to 1st grade. And we had 2 classes. And in the 6th grade, a new girl moved to town. And she moved here from Old Fort, North Carolina, I hope. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, actually, yes.
Or,
yes.
well, anyway, you always talk about Old Fort.
Right.
But her mother grew up in Bronxton, so she had ties. And we became good friends. And Lisa and I are probably, out of our class, the ones that see each other, of our group of friends, we're the ones that see each other most of the time. So Lisa's very near and dear to my heart. Her family is, and we share some of her family is my family. We claim that Lisa's got hires in her, but she really doesn't. Lisa, come over this way. And the grandchildren gonna hold the Bible. All right, now I want people to see you, so. All right, put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution
under the Constitution
of the state,
of the state,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully perform
and faithfully
the
perform
duties of Levy County School Board member,
the duties of Levy County School Board member,
on which I am now about to enter,
on which I am now about to enter.
so help me God.
So help me God. Congratulations. Thank
Okay, so next, Linda Campbell grew up in New York, I think, somewhere in New York. I don't know how she met Levy County Cedar Key, Don Campbell, but my husband and Don knew each other probably all of their lives, I think. And so when I met Howell, I met Don, and then I met Linda. So we spent many times together in Cedar Key with mutual friends. And it's my honor to swear in Linda too, if she'll come forward. And Peyton, I've watched play sports many times. All right, so you hold the Bible, put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and government
and government
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office
to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully perform
and faithfully
the
perform
duties of Levy County School Board member,
the duties of a Levy County School Board member,
on which I am now about to enter,
on which I am now about to enter.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Lancaster. Thank you, Judge Bustamante. Anybody that wants to stick around is more than welcome to. At the end of the meeting, these newly appointed, newly sworn-in members will be allotted 15 minutes to give a dissertation about what we're going to do. So it's always entertaining when that happens. We're going to take a short recess. So those that want to stay are more than welcome to stay. Those that want to leave, want to get more pictures, no, y'all can do that. We'll take like 5 minutes. Oh, there's Kay.
So what I'll do is I will ask the board for nominations for chair. Are there any nominations for
I
chair?
nominate Cameron Aswell.
Second.
I have a nomination for Cameron Asbell. Any further nominations? I will call that nominations cease, and we'll take a vote for Mr. Asbell to be chair of the board. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We will move. We will move on for vice chair of the board. I'll ask for nominations for vice chairman.
I nominate Ashley Kaminsky.
I move nominations cease.
I have a nomination for Mrs. Clemenza as vice chair. Nominations have ceased. All those in favor of Mrs. Clemenza being vice chairman, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes for Mrs. Clemenza, vice chair. We'll move on to, I need a motion for the setting days and times for the school board meetings. May I have a nomination for those times and days?
I move that meetings continue to be on the second Tuesday of each month, starting at 6 p.m. and then on the fourth Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Second. I have a motion and a second. The meetings will be on the second Tuesday of each month, beginning at 6 p.m., and the fourth Tuesday, beginning at 9 a.m. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes for the meetings of the board. I will now turn the gavel over to the new chairman to conduct our regular business, Mr. Asbell.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. I'm going to ask y'all to be patient with me this year. Y'all know it's always a bumpy ride when I sit here, but it's always fun. So you new folks, you never know. It's like Forrest Gump said, it's like a box of chocolates.
Some are good and some are bad.
Some are good, some are bad. Some are, yeah. All right. Now let's get serious. We have business to take care of, and I am being choked to death by this tie. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. At this time, I like to welcome everybody here tonight. If you would like to address the board, you are more than welcome to. We can't take any action on things brought up that are not agenda items, but we will gladly listen to you. We ask you limit it to 5 minutes. Is there anyone that has anything to say? Anybody send us any emails or
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll move right on ahead to our superintendent. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We will move on to some superintendent highlights, and what that is we have 3 different representatives from our schools, Bronson Middle High and Mr. Wilson. If you will come up first, we would greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. All right, I just wanted to highlight a few things from last year and beginning of this year through FBLA and my esports club. So last year we had 2 teams make it to nationals in Partnership for Business and American Enterprise Report. Unfortunately, those kids, some have graduated, some are working, some didn't want to be by themselves. So they're not here today. Unfortunately, last year when we did go to Orlando, summers always make it hard when it comes to doing these. So we only have to have 1 team actually compete. A lot of people just, when you lose like 2 people out of 3 groups, and then the other one's like, I can't do this. So, but yeah, so this has been the last 2 years have been pretty great. Getting to nationals is pretty difficult for a small school. So this is the 2nd year we've had 2 teams play. So this year coming up is in California. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, you know. All right, one of the things we had happen this year, which has been great, excellent, is that they took my room and they turned it into an esports arena. So it doubles as a classroom. I have a few pictures up here is how it is before all the carpet came up. That stage right there is built from our carpentry department. So we kind of combined efforts here. So they were very helpful. And then we had the new flooring that came in, and then the stage from different angles. And a lot of thank yous to IT, maintenance, electricians, the painters, CT department, school board. It was one heck of a project. And you can see the difference in some of the numbers I'm going to show up here about how it has helped out and brought more kids into doing extracurricular activities that they would not necessarily do. Oh, so my numbers graphics. Okay, so the esports arena got done probably maybe a week before school started. We had a few more things to kind of tidy up. So we reached out TV20. They've helped us in the past in terms of the tournament that we do, which I'll talk about shortly. And so they decided they wouldn't come and do a grand opening for us. They did a live stream. They did a live thing for 3 hours. They're out there just kind of doing a little live stream. So I brought the video so y'all can watch in case you didn't see it.
Great marketing ideas don't just fall from the sky. Innovative brands aren't.
Bronson Middle High School has a new esports gaming arena for their students.
And while they host tournaments, they're also going to continue to honor one name. TV20's Misty Webb joins us live in Bronson this evening. Misty, why is this so special to one teacher?
A teacher at Bronson Middle High School says he will continue to honor the name of one student who passed away. Students here, as well as UF esports students, are gathered to celebrate the grand opening of their esports arena. A student named Timothy Snyder, who appreciated gaming, was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma cancer and died after ending his treatments. Last year, more than 80 gamers gathered in a 2-part tournament to help raise money for Snyder, who was battling cancer at that time. They partnered with the University of Florida. He decided to end his treatments and passed away in February of this year. Next January, they will begin the TJ Snyder Hope Scholarship Tournament.
We continue even with using his name as a scholarship. We discussed that before the last tournament. And then we got to tell him that shortly before he passed.
All money raised will go towards scholarships for students in FBLA, the game design program, or in the esports club. Snyder's mom says she has loved seeing how much support and love he has received. Live in Bronson, Misty Webb, TV 20 News.
So so last year he decided to stop treatment. And shortly after we had the tournament like in January, and so he couldn't make it to the tournament. So I sat down and talked with him, and I told him, you know, because he was doing pretty bad, what we were doing in his honor. So starting this year, so starting this year, all right, I'm coming back. So starting this year, we have a great partnership with UF. It's been an incredible partnership, and like when we did the grand opening, UF players were there, like their competitive team was there. We have their student programs, because it's mostly student driven. And so we have a good relationship with every single kind of group that's out there. And they've been great. So they came out, they brought a bunch of people with them. I had the CT department was there, administration was there. It was a great time. It was good to see. And I even have it's meant a lot, because a lot of even my former students coming back and kind of wanting to see it, be part of it. So I thought they lost it. But anyway, so okay. Anyway, all right. So we are partnering with the Gator Gaming again, and then the UF Esports Club, and we have the Gator Stock Exchange. So we're going to do the tournament again. It's going to be January 25th. We welcome people to come out there. It's fun. I mean, last year we had like 99 participants and raised like $3,000. So any money this time around will go in for scholarships for kids that are either in my FBLA, digital media, or esports. So they get opportunities. So I mean, when you're talking about $2,000 to $3,000, that's a pretty good college scholarship. So and we're doing it in his name, and it's been great. So all the planning's starting to come up now, but it's fun. I mean, the amount of kids you see there, and you have kids that are young. Well, I mean, the one year we had like a 7-year-old out there playing, you know, just being part of it. So, it'll be it should be fun. And last slide. All right, so a little bit more about the esports. So since the arena and stuff opened, it's actually almost up to the 70 students, but I kind of at 60 there because it's like inconsistent. Like because of other extracurricular activities, kids are in and out. We've actually had an increase in female participation, which is, you know, everybody thinks it's a boy, and it's younger females too. It's like 6th graders, 7th graders coming in there playing. So it's nice to see a little bit more diversity, and it's not more just for the guys, you know. So that's been good to see. What we've been blessed with is very good equipment. I mean, people come in there and they're blown away on you know, the kind of equipment we have, and which also by having better equipment makes you better at it. I mean, I think we have how long? We have about 10, 12 teams participating in the, you know, they're going into the playoffs now. So we'll see. Our middle schools are really good. They beat out our high school, so I mean, high school has a little catching up to do. But our goal, and the only thing, I mean, we have. So when I started the other league, the league that covers state, we are now. We have 2 different leagues, and 2 different platforms, and we have over 170 Florida schools in it. So it's been incredible. For the last 2 years, we've grown from like grassroots to 170 schools participating, which could be like 500 to 700 teams. That's how big it's become. It's all done online and stuff. So, and also, as a matter of fact, some of these we're going to have happening in the future. What we're discussing is that UF is, I guess we kind of got the ball rolling for them. So they just now started building their own esports arena. So we're looking in the future they're going to be probably, when we do state championships and stuff, probably UF will be the place to do state championships. And also, they're looking at maybe doing camps for kids during like the summer or something like that. So there's a couple things that we're looking at as a partnership. So like I said, it's been great. It's been great. And then, so our goal, of course, is I have all these other schools, all these different areas, Panhandle down to Miami, but we don't have any participation in Levy County. So, but we're starting to see, it's always hard, 'cause you have to find somebody who has, it takes time. It spends a lot of time, because you have several different games your team might want to play, and that takes you take all week trying to get those through. So, but it's good to hear now Chieflin, somebody's come forward now, they're coming on board. I mean, she sent out a survey to all, because I guess the kids started writing a little, and got the signatures and everything else, and they want to start esports club in Chieflin. I went to a teacher, and she took, and so she's taking the ball, and she's rolling with it, and I think she had about 40 or 50 kids do the survey. So that's pretty, so you can see the interest there. So that is some of the bright spots, and we're working on, a couple other counties around us. I think Dixie County just jumped on board. They're going to come by and come see the arena, because I get to brag about the arena. Nobody else in the area has one. So yeah, that's my presentation. I appreciate it. It's been great with all the support. It's been excellent.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Wilson, if someone wanted to contribute to the scholarship fund, but they don't play the games, is there a way to do that?
Yeah, you would still probably donate during we still run like a GoFundMe for that, so to catch it. So for people who just want to donate, or you could so we have another one called Playverse, where you can also just donate money there too. So
Just send a check to Mike Wilson.
He'll make sure it goes.
He'll make sure it gets right.
No problem. Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Next, we will have Mrs. Nicole Gill, and she is from Cedar Key School, and she will present.
Hi, everybody. So this is the second year in a row that I've had to go after Mike, so lucky me. I will say a couple things on his behalf. There's nothing like going to a conference and walking around with this gentleman when they are doing esports stuff. He knows everybody. He knows exactly what equipment he wants, and it is really kind of fun to watch that magic. It's really, really great. He is my buddy at all of our meetings. He sits with me, and we are able to get stuff done, and it's great. So let's go on to the slide of DECA. Yes, I pushed DECA down everybody's throat. I'd like to show everybody real quick. There is this thing called the DECA Diamond. You go ahead and you do 2 rock stars. You pull them together. That is your DECA Diamond. You will see a lot of students pulling that in DECA photos. It is not a gang sign. It is our DECA Diamond. We are a little kind of crazy cult, but we get all together. So our DECA motto is definitely to prepare emerging leaders and entrepreneurs for careers in marketing, finance, hospitality, management, and schools and colleges, which is the exact blueprint of our hospitality department, which is now in its 5th year. Last year we had our first graduate for the full 4-year program, which, believe it or not, was Connor Ham, which was amazing in Cedar Key. We loved that, and we were really proud of him. Last year was really crazy with our DECA World 2. Thankful to all of our sponsors and everybody that came in. We were able to take 5 students to nationals that qualified, and last year nationals was in California, in Anaheim. So as you can see, we're at Disney's California Adventure in this picture. So taking those 5 students to the other side of the country, for 4 of them, that was the first time they'd ever been on an airplane. First time they were in national competition. First time they were out of Levy County for a big, large event. And as you can see on the far left, Audrey, she is now a sophomore. She's one of the quietest people you know, unless she's hangry. And she doesn't talk to people, she doesn't socialize. That was her first year in hospitality. So to get her out of the shell before we knew it, she had the big old cowboy hat on at the end. She had about 40 pins that she traded with people. And like to see these kids out of their shell and getting that real world experience was quite lovely. We raised in our donations and our sponsorships last year $18,000 for these students to go on that trip. It was funded 100% through sponsorships, and these kids really proud. I was very proud of them. So with DECA, to get some of our seeds and the things that we do, last year we were successful in becoming the membership campaign, the promotional campaign, and the community service campaign. These are 3 of the things that are very important to us as a community. The community service one is about doing an event that is so near and dear to us. Every year we support the food bank. This year it kind of went crazy with everybody after the hurricane giving us so much supplies, so we were able to, in the school, organize it all, get it all ready for distribution, and really help. Another thing we did this year to add to our community service is there's a Helping Hands project. So we did it as a field trip where we took 21 students to Gainesville to do the Food for Kids volunteering for the day. So we made 198 bags of food that go to local families. That day we were doing them for Alachua County, but even schools in Levy County got Food for Kids sponsorships. So it is wonderful that we were able to do something to contribute. And we keep getting that community service. After the hurricane, my kids were the first ones to help businesses clean out, clean streets, do whatever is needed. Those kids don't have to be asked, they're just there. We do coastal cleanup every single year. Those kids just show up and they work for hours to make sure that their community is respected and represented, and it's just close to my heart. On the promotional side, we do different kinds of events to do an event like today, and like at the last meeting that we weren't able to attend because of the storms, where we do declarations to say, listen, let's support DECA. We do this at the city level, at the school board level, we get everybody involved, so we are screaming DECA as loud as we can. We are the only school right now in Levy County that does DECA. We had Williston, but we're working to see if something else is gonna pick up there. But we do this all on the high school level, we get kids out there. Last year, you can see it was the first time we got on stage. I was so excited. I may have been crying from the front row, because it's kind of like living our dreams too when we are getting our kids up on a stage to have that moment. Last year we also got a national award with DECA, and it was kind of crazy. Teeny tiny little Cedar Key, Florida had the #1 program in the state of Florida for our percent increase of membership. We had 400% increase for the year. We went from 10 members to 40 members. But 40 members is practically the whole high school. So we were really excited to get that many kids involved. Our students that do graduate end up getting a DECA stole at graduation. Our officers get a different color. We do our scholarships that help our hospitality students. And then this year it was already supposed to be organized, but the hurricanes kind of changed that. We are going to start the Leanna Bryan Scholarship for our fallen friend from our community, and each year we will be doing a cornhole tournament to raise money and awareness and basically have it like one big crazy party where all of her friends and family get together and still can celebrate her. Leanna was near and dear to our hearts, and she represented the epitome of good hospitality. If you weren't feeling good, she was there. Over the summer, she got out of it. She was supposed to take me to Texas. She was the first one to sign up to take me to surgery, to sit with me with a broken head for days, which, hello, first time I'm at a meeting with no sunglasses on, this is great too. So I appreciate that. So with DECA, we definitely follow the mission statement of Levy County by getting kids career and college ready. We got them experience into the whole world that is out there. I feel like Tanya with her avidness, I can talk DECA for days. It is such a supportive and welcoming community. And we are getting kids ready for competitions. We get them for professional attire. We get them to just be ready for the world. And recently, I will call and be talking to people from Pie Auction and stuff, which will be going to be here next Tuesday for the Pie Auction and CPP. We'd like you to be here, because I'm also doing a class sponsor. I will say something about DECA, and they're like, oh my gosh, my son was president of DECA, or this was DECA, or I remember this. And it's kind of those feelings that these kids are almost building these relationships that they can say the DECA word just like FFA and just like FBLA for the next generation, and it's really going to help them. So right now we are preparing for CDC, this was CDC 2024, we're preparing for competitions for districts to get things going. We had a record 11 kids for us that went to states. If you look at the middle on the bottom, that is Mason. He's a senior this year. He took the test because I said, Mason, go take a test. He's like, I don't want to take a test. I'm like, just take a test. He got second in the district. And he's like, so what does that mean? I'm like, you get to kind of go to Disney World now. He's like, what? So it was kind of amazing. He had no idea about going. Once he went to the event, he's like, how do I go to nationals? I'm like, well, you didn't participate all year round, so you don't have enough points to get one of our seats. He goes, okay, what can I do for next year? So he's a senior now, and he got that. But you can see up in the top corner, you have my son who reluctantly is DECA because I forced him to because I always need an extra set of hands. But you can see we do the presentations, we have the lanyards with all of our accomplishments for the year. First year we went, we had like 2 throw that DECA diamond up. If you follow our CPS DECA page, that is all they want to do is do different things with diamonds. I'm like, great, can you guys buy me some too? Okay. And then we got to the ICDC, which was in California. You can see up in the top all the hats. We get a hat from DECA, which started off as this one, and before we knew it, in the other side, everybody had a different hat because you trade them. Micah right here, that cowboy hat, he got it for something else in 20 bucks, and then literally a half hour later, some guy said, "I will give you $100 for that hat." He handed me the $100, made me check with my financial background to make sure it was real. Like, it's real, and he goes, "Here's my hat, have a good day." Yeah, $100 off of a hat. $80 profit. It was kind of amazing. So as you can see, like, we really got out there. We did a ton of different kinds of things. Anaheim this year is back in Orlando, and then next year will be in Atlanta. This year's a little bit lower cost. Hopefully we get some more kids going out there. But the kids that aren't competing at that time, they get to go to leadership development sessions. So they're forced to talk to people. They have no idea who they are. And I don't know about you guys, but when I went to college, I'm like, people, they don't know. So it was a great opportunity for them to get out of their comfort zones. Because when you're in teeny tiny Cedar Key, guess what? You know everybody. And if you don't know them, your mom knows them. And if you're past curfew, they're going to rat you out. So it is a good experience for them to get out there. Do I have one more, I think? So another thing that was really great is when you go all the way across the country, and as you can see in that middle, that's Patrick Grady. He has property in Cedar Key, and he is actually on all these DECA tours, and he's at those competitions, and he is doing guest lectures. So it's really amazing that we have people from all around the state. Several of the people that are in DECA are also in HTM, which is our hospitality program. In HTM, it is competitions that are the best because we don't pay a dime for them. They pay for our transportation, our hotel rooms, our food, everything. It is kind of the best deal in town. I don't know how we get it. Also through HTM, we get grants throughout the year that buy all of our ServSafe certification tests. So Tanya, I don't think, has ever had to place an order for ServSafe because Karen and I will go ahead for both our departments. We get as many as we can. We have them banked. So not only my department, but also home ec, we're able to test those kids for free. If some kid in our school is like, "Hey, I've worked in a restaurant for the last 2 years, can I take ServSafe?" Great, absolutely. Here's some study guides, here's some time, we'll do the review, and they get tested. So even though it may not be a complete beneficial thing for my program in getting it financed, it is something that's going to benefit them because they can walk out those doors. And I believe we were able to cater it to Cape Scholarship too, so it still benefits them, and it's an amazing, amazing thing. So we love all these competitions. We love getting our kids out in the world. I think I'm done. There might be another slide. There is. Sorry. So again, last year, our membership drive, we have 20 members on target right now. We have 40 professional members and sponsors. If you've ever given me money, you are an alumni or a sponsor, and that's how we get more seats. So please give me more money, and I'll put your name on the list. I love it. Our professional is our school engagement activities, our community engagement, going to open houses, going to fall festivals, going to whenever there's a night, like an Avid night, if somebody needs us, we will there and help. And then our food drive and volunteering. Everything is about giving back to the community and making sure that they are running what they are doing, and I'm just there to make sure nobody runs with scissors. So that I think is it now. Thank you guys so much for always participating and like not being afraid of DECA and jumping in feet first. We really appreciate it, and the more kids that I can get engaged, I promise the more kids I will take wherever so that they can have lovely experiences. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I'll turn it over to a director of FACTI.
Next, we will hear from Chiefland Middle High School, and this is Leah Myrick, and she is bringing to us our HOSA students. They probably need a little sugar. They need the cake. Wake them up.
It's actually the one before that. You gotta go all the way back to the beginning. So hi, thank you for having us. My name is Leah Myrick, and I do help run the Health Academy at Chiefland Middle High School. I feel like it's unfair after going after them, but I'm just gonna kind of highlight a little bit about our program and the Health Academy and also HOSA. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our student-run organization as well. So before I do that though, let me introduce these guys. These are 3 of my students that are in HOSA. They're very involved in HOSA, leadership in HOSA. They compete. They're also 2 of my CNA students and 1 of my EMR students. So this is Alexis Burkett. She's one of my seniors. She is a CNA student, and then Kayla Rose. She is one of my HOSA officers. She's a senior and she's a CNA student. And then Christian Gonzalez, he is also one of my HOSA officers, and he is in EMR. So you can go ahead and go to the next. All right, so what are we all about? I'm just gonna I'm not gonna read off of that. You guys can read it. But basically, the Health Academy is, to me, and I hope to my students too, we're all about that caring, compassion, integrity, honesty, creating the next generation of healthcare professionals. So if you've ever had a loved one in the hospital, if you've ever been in the hospital yourself, the nursing home or something like that, you want that person to have compassion. You want that person to have empathy. You want that person to have integrity and honesty. And so, those are some things that we value. Our goal is to provide that highly effective education and to make sure that not only we provide students that can, walk into any kind of program post-secondary, but also that we are growing our own to come back to Levy County, to come back to, the surrounding counties, Gilchrist County, Dixie County, wherever, and provide that really good healthcare system for us in the surrounding counties. Next page, please. So, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there's going to be an 11% growth of CNA positions nationwide between 2021 and 2031. What does that mean? That means that these guys will always have a job, right? Any of my students that graduate, that go through my program and that graduate, and it's not just CNA. I just use CNA because that's kind of the one that most people identify with. But CNA, which is Certified Nursing Assistant, if you didn't know that. We also do EKG technician. So that person that you go to maybe at the doctor's office, or if you go see a cardiologist and they put little stickers on you, that's an EKG. These guys will graduate with that certification. And then EMR is an emergency medical responder. So it's kind of just before an EMT. EMT paramedics, I think everybody's pretty familiar with that. In fact, if something happens, you may actually see these guys in their uniforms on the ambulance, because they actually go and spend 12 hours on an ambulance with Levy County EMS. They do 3 of those in order to sit and test for their EMR. So they're always going to have a job, but even if they decide not to go into healthcare, they're always going to have that knowledge and that experience to be able to take care of their loved ones, to be able to take care of themselves. But definitely, it's always going to be a need, right? So we're trying to grow our program. We want to maximize what we can provide here in Levy County and at Chiefland Middle High School. Okay. So what do we do for our students and for our community? As I mentioned, we do have the CNA program. We have EKG technician certification and EMR. We are planning to add certified patient care technician, which is a little bit more of a specialty. So it basically combines CNA, EKG with a little bit of phlebotomy too, which is drawing people's blood. Okay, so all of these will offer students building blocks to be able to go further, whether that be go into a nursing program, become a physician, become a surgeon, whatever they want to do. Even if they decide, hey, I want to stop here, I want to be, a stay-at-home mom, or I want to, I want to stay home, I want to stay in my community, and I want to work as a CNA, or I want to work as an EMT. It provides them an area where they're not going and working for minimum wage, right? It provides them that opportunity that they can go and make a decent living right out of high school. All right, so a little bit about HOSA. HOSA stands for Health Occupation Students of America, although you will not see that anywhere anymore. So now all the literature says HOSA, Future Health Professionals. I guess they didn't want FHP though, so it's HOSA still. So last year at state, we were recognized as having a symptom school because we have over 100 members. That's a lot. That's a lot of members to have. We didn't take all 100 to state, but we did take about 14 to state. Since I've taken over this position, we've averaged about, I would say 12 to 14 students that we've taken to state every year. So that little picture in the top, that's the little award that I got. In 2022, we began including middle school in our HOSA club. So we now have a middle school division and a high school division of HOSA. And so this year we have an 8th grade class that is going to compete at regionals, as we have had for the past couple of years actually. And so they also earn a place at state, so they can go to state with us as well. And so obviously, you know, having middle schoolers go to a state competition, this is like a 4-day, very kind of like the same thing that Nicole was talking about. They're exposed, right? They're exposed to large groups of people, other people they've never met before, other people with, you know, they're doing the same competition, and they get to see these other kids who are dressed professionally, who behave professionally, and so it gives them that experience and that exposure to build upon going in high school. And then the middle picture there, we recently went to Camp Klapa, which is actually this past weekend. We took 8 students for leadership training, so you can see us there. A couple of them are here. And again, just like Nicole was saying, it's leadership training. So they had a full weekend of meeting other people, bonding with other students who do the same thing that they do, learning leadership skills, bringing back those leadership skills, fundraising ideas, management ideas, how do we get things together, how to properly run a meeting. All of these things are taught to them at Camp Klapa. So we're very involved in HOSA, and we love to get the students involved and encourage their participation. But HOSA isn't everything. We do a lot of stuff in class too. So all of the Health Academy students have either CPR skills, which is like the community skills that you would learn, that's like the hands-on CPR. From 8th grade through 10th grade, they get a minimum of that every single year. And then in 11th grade and 12th grade, because they're riding the ambulance, they're being exposed to emergency medicine, and they're going through their CNA training, they actually get an American Heart Association BLS certification. So they have to go through that 2-hour certification, which a lot of times by the time they go through that, because they've already had it the other years, they're very well versed in what to do for basic first aid and CPR. So they all of these guys up here, they have that certification. In fact, the seniors obviously have had it for 2 years now. And sometimes when they're in their EMR clinicals, they will actually use those CPR skills. So they've done chest compressions, they've done, they've helped get the supplies, they've helped monitor people going, that are being coded, for lack of a better word. These people are dead in essence, and they're helping to bring them back to life. So they actually get that hands-on experience and be able to experience that. We have a great relationship with the Levy County Public Safety. So if you see or know of anybody who works in Levy County Public Safety, especially EMS, we just thank them because they've been so great to our community and our county working with us, they put a lot of time and effort into these kids that they don't get paid extra for. They do it because they love to feed into our county, and to feed into our kids. So we also practice wound care, and as you can see there, it gets a little gruesome. So we actually do a couple of days a year that we do moulage, and we actually create wounds on each other, and then practice dressing those wounds and stopping bleeding, and we use, fake blood, and it's gory, and it's fun. We have a great time. But they really do learn about hands-on first aid. And then we also do cultural awareness and CFC partnerships. So, this is just an example, but this year during the Hispanic Heritage Month, we went into cultural diversity. Whenever you're working in the healthcare profession, you work with anybody and everybody, right? It doesn't matter what their background is. It doesn't matter what they look like, what they believe. You have to treat everybody the same. And so going back to that compassion, that integrity, that honesty, that is definitely part of what we teach and what we get into. So we had a great time during Hispanic Heritage Month because we learned about cultural diversity and the digestive system for anatomy and physiology, and then we had a big old party afterwards, and we ate all the great food, Hispanic food, so it was fun. And then we also partnership obviously with Central Florida, and they were so great to let us come out and explore their EMT program that's offered at the Levy campus. And as far as I know, their program, their EMT program, dual enrollment program, starting in spring is completely full now. So it was great exposure for them, great exposure for these guys and our kids to be able to take advantage of that EMT program. Okay. This is just highlighting the EMR program a little bit more because we actually did get a grant to fund the EMR program last year, and so we were pretty proud about that. But we're able to invest into that program, grow it a little bit more, get the equipment that we needed to be able to practice CPR, do that moulage, on site and not depend on Levy County DPS, but also just to kind of highlight our partnership with Levy County DPS and how much they do for us. Okay. So the future. Obviously, I said before, we're hoping to add that CPCT program so that we'll have now 4 industry certifications that the Health Academy will offer by the time these guys graduate. And so we're excited to grow that program. We're excited to bring that to fruition in order to get our students excited, to be able, to get them involved in HOSA, involved in the competition, and to grow our program even further. We need business partnerships. So we have gotten a lot of business partnerships. As you can see, those are 2024 sponsors that I have on there. And business partnerships don't always just mean money, right? We depend on our business partnerships for feedback. How are our students in the community working out? Are they seeing our students who have achieved their goal of maybe becoming an RN or LPN, or achieve their, maybe they're working as a CNA. How are they working out? We need that feedback, because if there's something that our program can do differently to make it better for our business partners and our community, we need to know that so that we can do that. And then leaders and mentors for these guys, right? Just like Levy County DPS, Mandy Tyndall is a huge part of my EMR program. She is an adjunct instructor, but she is also a mentor and leader to our EMR students. She literally takes them under her wing, and she makes sure that they get the experience that they need, that they get the exposure that they need, and that they understand what's going on, and that they're successful. So definitely continuing that. We've had a lot of growth, I feel like, in the past 4 years since I've been here. But looking forward to growing it even more. Okay. So this is just a little bit of student feedback. These are these guys here, what they said. You wanna read yours? said I love posting because it helps me develop my leadership skills and provide valuable hands-on experience that is not typically encountered in everyday life.
Okay.
I love the Health Academy because it gave me lifelong friends and it also introduced me to many career paths.
Go ahead.
I love posting because I get to talk to and meet so many incredible people.
Okay. These are some that have graduated in the past. So we have Dorothy Estrada, Tori Fisher, and Kamora Bowers. I'm not going to read all of them. You guys can read them. But I do like to say that my students, I like to reach out to them and get feedback from them too. What could I have done differently? What have you experienced since you've been in the industry or at college? Something that, maybe we should cover more or that I should cover before you go into nursing school or before you, that would maybe help you get into medical school or whatever the case may be. And we have been able to, or I have been able to make some adjustments and make sure that, oh, Ms. Myrick, I feel like you need to cover manual blood pressures a little bit more. Okay, so that's, that's something that I picked up and that we've done. So, we don't hesitate to reach out and kind of make sure what they're doing, make sure that they're succeeding. And if they are floundering, are they looking for a job in the healthcare field? Can I help them do that? So it doesn't end with them graduating. We keep up with them and make sure that they're still, doing what they want to do and what they love to do. Okay. Okay, and then I do have a few pictures you can. So these are literally them. There's some pictures you can see that they're actually in the ambulance. They're the one at the top right-hand corner. That was actually a day that we went to Central Florida and we were able to play around in their lab. But this is all like hands-on stuff, right? We're not just a sit down, read the book, go through a PowerPoint. These kids are involved, they are hands-on, and they get that experience. So, okay, that's it.
That's awesome. Thank you very, very much. Who has been on the ambulance yet?
Yeah, these two.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
I thought that they might want to ask you some questions.
Alexis is a former student of mine in the gifted enrichment class. So I'm not surprised to see her doing so well.
That's awesome.
Thank y'all very much. We now call on Miss Kaylee Wade.
You think it's hard to follow Mike Wilson, it's hard to follow all of that. I'm just saying, the swearing in and all that tonight, so I'll be short and sweet. I'm asking permission from the board to extend our contract with Florida Blue for the health insurance. So I think you should have it in your packet. So they said our contract ends at end of '24, but they said if we signed early, they would give us an additional $25,000 in wellness. In the past, we have used that for chair massages, walking challenges, weight loss challenges, and we will continue to do some things for the employees. They've also added, they give us $25,000 per year, but they've upped that to $30,000. And so, ask for a recommendation, I guess? Or any questions, I guess I should ask. Do you have any questions?
So what's that total amount of money?
I'm not good at school being that.
I'm saying it's not 30, it's like 50, right?
Well, it's 50 the first year and then 30 each additional year.
Okay, all right,
Sorry.
thank you.
Yeah.
Not a mathematician.
Because you got that's 25,000 bonus to make it 50 for this year, right?
That's right.
Right, and then
That's
30.
correct. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Wade.
Thank you.
You did good on your presentation too.
That's right.
Okay, now here's the test. I tested you people earlier and none of you passed, so I expect you to do better. I asked for public comment earlier. Now it's public comment, so if you would. I failed, you failed. We all failed together, but we're changing it. Is there any public comment at this time? The right time. And let me just say, you know what's bad about me missing it? It was my bright idea to put it there.
Yeah, we do remember that.
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Maybe the tie was kind of.
I'm choking to death. I'm choking to death. I have on long pants and a real shirt and a tie. All right, we'll now move on to number 11, the approval of the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to read over them? Are there any changes to the minutes?
I make a
Right.
motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We'll now move to our consent agenda. Has everyone had a chance to read over the consent agenda?
Sir.
Are there any changes to the consent agenda? All right, I will start on this end, if it's okay. Ms. Clemency, I about called you Clemency
I think
again.
it's been said 3 different ways tonight. All my questions were answered. Thank you.
Mr. Whitehurst.
I don't have any questions.
All my questions
All
are
right.
answered.
And
Good question.
got it all together. All right, and I have no questions. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We will move on to the finance part of the consent agenda. Any questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now, we're over here to the superintendent's comments. Madam Superintendent, it is your turn.
You won't let me go at the end. He already told me that.
No. Because you have important things to say.
I don't know about that. I just want to make a couple announcements, and then I do have a few words to say, but I wanted to check with Mr. Whitehurst first. Did you have any legislative updates? Do you mind if I mention a couple?
No, that's what was emailed
Okay.
out.
No, something separate.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I did attend new superintendent orientation last week, and it's through the FADS organization, kind of similar to Florida School Board Association, and we work very well together. It is a wonderful organization, and they stand behind newbies, and they give you mentors. So don't be so frightened that I'm sitting here. A couple things that they mentioned, they had Senator Albritton visit us, and they had Senator Simon, and most of you probably are aware of them, and they've done a lot of work up in Tallahassee, but I just wanted to say that the things that they will be working on, they didn't go into detail, and I just wanted to inform the board and let you know, but they're going to continue discussing School Board 733, and that's the changing of the start times. And they're trying to work through it and hopefully get to a point where it won't be mandatory for every school, it will be an option. So that's what they're working on there. They're also trying to come up with what they're calling a rural district assistance bill. And didn't give particulars there, but that would benefit us, of course, because we're small and rural. So they're looking at brainstorming and seeing how they can help us smaller rural districts, which I thought was very interesting. I'd like to really get down to the nitty-gritty on that one. They also have experienced, and I'm sure heard from many districts, about chronic absenteeism. And we all know that if the kids aren't at school, who are the teachers going to teach? They're just going to fall behind. And so Tallahassee is, I guess, they're really taking a look at this, and they're seeing a problem. And they will continue with the deregulation. They didn't go into detail on the specifics, but the deregulation is just taking some bills that were there and seeing if they can release some of those items in those bills that kind of tie the hands of the districts. So that's just kind of a hint of what they gave us, but it was wonderful to meet them and hear from them. And when we go to Tallahassee, Senator Albritton personally gave me his secretary's name, said, don't forget her, call, and he'll get all of us in. So that was exciting. Just a few things. I know pie auctions are coming up, and I just want to make sure that I have the board's approval. If I'm there, do you mind if I bid as a board for a couple pies? It won't be, you know, it won't zero out the checking account.
Don't get too crazy.
I won't get too crazy, but I just want to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Any special
You're
requests to
fiduciary.
bring back here? Chocolate, vanilla? No. Okay. All right. So I'll do that. And the I want to say that to the two new school board members, I have known you both for a long time as well, and I'm looking forward to working with both of you and the board as a whole. I know that you will dig deep because you're educators for many years, and I think those are good eyes and a good lens to have. So I'm very, very excited. I also have been in touch with the Levy County School Foundation, so Mrs. Whitehurst, and one of the board members. And I don't have the specifics ironed out, but what I intend to do, and hopefully it will begin soon, very soon, I would like to implement what will be called a superintendent scholarship. And this will be scholarships just from the superintendent. The monies will be automatically deducted and sent directly to Levy County School Foundation. And there'll be a little bit of an application process for some of the seniors at all our high schools. It involves the entire district. Nothing fancy, not long essays, but something that they can fill out. And then the Levy County School Foundation, their board, will then pick who that scholarship goes to. But I did check the avenues, and you can have the monies taken out and sent directly to the foundation, and they can disperse it. So I'm very excited about seeing how that all plays out, and hopefully we'll get about $1,000 to each one of the students as a superintendent scholarship.
There's actually that option for all employees to do a payroll deduction.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
I know you're doing more,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I know, it is, and
Yeah.
it's a great option, because it's a wonderful, wonderful organization that gives back to our students. I won't take too much time, but I do want to say that I am honored to be sitting here, and I will work extremely hard. I will probably work so hard to a fault, and that's okay. I know I have a lot to learn from those that are around me, and the kindness and grace that has been shown to me in these past 2 days has been wonderful. I've been up here at district, and I've also reached out to the board members individually. I won't back down from a challenge. I know a lot of you have not worked with me for a long time, but please know, probably some mistakes will be made along the way, and I'm not shy to say oops or ask for help. I will definitely do that, but I just want you to know that my heart is here to serve, and I will serve your teachers, and I will serve these students, and I will serve the district staff and the board. That's my intention, is to serve them, and that's what I will do. And I think, on a final note, you can look at the teachers that presented tonight, and the passion, take that word from you, the passion that these teachers have, you can see in just the 3 teachers that spoke tonight. And I feel that that passion, even if we're not visiting those classrooms or we can't be there every day like they can, you know without a doubt that that passion is trickling down to those students in every area. It's just, you could see it, you could, when you present, you know, you could hear it in your voice, you could see it in your eyes. So there's no doubt what you're doing for these kids is astronomical. So thank you for that. And I think I'm done because you want cake.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. We'll now go to board comments. I've got your speeches ready.
Speech?
Ready? All right, give you a little bit more time. We'll start here with Ms. Klemensky.
Not that hard. My grandmother never got
I've been saying
it
it for like 5 years and you can't get it out. Just Ashley.
It's a different name for Levy County. I'll give you that. To echo what Ms. Boyle said, the presentations tonight, I think I cry every time you present, Mr. Wilson. But our schools are so lucky to have all 3 of you, Ms. Marco. I wish, I mean, the programs that we have now compared to what I had in middle, I think we had home ec, which I'm still failing, and life management skills. I mean, we had. But I'm just so excited. I hope eventually all of our schools can get all of the programs. DECA, my mom's side of the family is from Indiana, and it's such a big deal there. My cousins were all highly involved in DECA, so hopefully all of our schools can get all of the programs. So thank you to you 3 and what you're doing. Yankeetown, I talked to Ms. Westfall. Sickness has just invaded Yankeetown, but other than that, they're rolling and looking forward to the break next week. And that's really all I have. I don't know Ms. Campbell and Ms. Baxter, so I'm looking forward to meeting you guys and keeping everything in the sunshine, but working with you for the next couple of years. And Ms. Boyle, now we can talk outside of the sunshine.
Yes, we
So
can.
yes, so I'm looking forward to working with you as well. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Whitehurst.
I got it right.
I got that.
Pronounce that one.
It's a common name.
Clemenza, you're right.
Can I call you Breeden?
Sure. No, my husband would not like that.
Yeah, sorry. Certainly enjoyed the presentation, like echo that Ms. Clemenza said, you know, and Ms. Moore, the passion, you know, seeing y'all up here, you know, just pour yourself into it day in, day out. Like I say, it's not a 9-to-5 deal. I mean, it's weekends, nights, you know, so it's certainly, it's good to see fruits of your labor though. You know, see these kids and sitting there, have them, you know, go on to success, and, you know, it shows, like I say, what y'all believe in and what y'all are willing to do. Like I say, it's not just for a paycheck by any means. And with a new board, change, and it says change is inevitable. Look forward to working with, like I said, Ms. Boyle in a new position. And like I say, you know, we can talk outside the sunshine.
Yes.
And then Miss Lisa, getting to know Miss Linda. I'm looking forward to that. And one thing I had on my devotional today was, you know, be a good listener, you know, because if you talk too much, you're not listening. So it's good to listen and, you know, you know, people want to be heard. So I think that's, you know, what we need to do more of, you know, let people voice their, you know, concerns. And a lot of people, you know, complain or whatever, they just want to vent themselves. Lots of times, you know, they don't necessarily want a solution, just to be heard. So I think we have a good board here that's going to be able to do that. And just hears everybody's, you know, what they got to say, and take that and, you know, form their opinions or form policies or whatever needs to be done for that. As far as Williston, had a big game last Friday. Came out on top, fortunate enough.
We're not going to talk about it.
I didn't say much. So we're continuing to play Fort White this week, so we'll see how that turns out. Basketball's kicking off, and FFA's got contests going on right now, and all the other stuff. So it's been good. Been good. Wilson got a lot going on, so appreciate being able to serve this board. Thank you.
Ms. Baxter.
Well, thank you to the presenters tonight and the kids that came, too. Being a former teacher, I really appreciated getting to see those presentations. At Chiefland Elementary School, they have had a successful fall festival, and they're getting ready for state testing after Thanksgiving. And they had a speech contest this morning, and Miss Boyle and I got to help judge. And it was very entertaining and interesting. And we had a former high school teacher, Mr. Dallas Locke. His youngest daughter, Landry, was the winner. And it was about agriculture, and it was a very good speech. Over at the middle high school, they recently had something that they call I Applied Day, and this was the guidance counselor, one of them, Kimberly Baker, was behind this, and it assisted kids in getting information about different colleges throughout the state, and even helped those students go ahead and fill out applications, and I thought that was great. They recently had parent-teacher conferences. They had it in the evenings so that more parents could come. They were set up to help parents learn how to access Skyward and some of the testing portals. And they also reported that their teacher cadet program, which I know they've been here and talked about that, the kids are doing really well. This is the second year they've done it, and the second year teacher cadets are teaching a lesson over at Chiefland Elementary School. And then the first year students are doing it at the middle school. So that's all going well. And I'd just like to say that I'm honored to serve.
Happy to have you.
Thank you, Ms. Baxter. Ms. Campbell?
Well, things in Cedar Key are looking great lately. We're back. Our restaurants are open. And the most wonderful part of it, as far as our school was able to reopen just after a couple of days with a lot of hard work to get it ready. But I see it, just riding around Cedar Key, and then you come up to the school and it's like an oasis in the middle of all the devastation that happened. So it's been a pleasure to go visit and watch, and there's lots going on. We're starting basketball season. We have a lot of our different groups doing fundraisers, not through the school, but through people who are supporting us, because this year the teachers opted not to do any fundraising because the community has been so affected by the natural disaster. And so, but we have such a great community that we have community people who now are helping sponsor fundraising for us. And we're gonna have a pie auction too. But I really loved seeing the presentations tonight. I see it myself with my own eyes. Nicole does a wonderful job with DECA at Cedar Key. And the reason that I'm impressed is because I'm about learning and what learning is going on at the schools. And I know that kids learn best when they're doing. And I also know that in this day and age, kids leave school and we want them ready, but they don't know what they're ready for. They're just so confused about the choices out there. And lots of times I've seen our own students who were top students graduate with scholarships and not go on because they just didn't know what to do. These programs that were presented tonight are a perfect example of what learning should be, and offer our students a perspective on what is possible for them. So I just congratulate the three. The third one isn't here. I saw one of my students, Tori Fisher, graduated from the health program and is an EMT now, so, and going on to be a paramedic. But it's just a pleasure to see how much learning is going on and how effectively hands-on active learning is with our students. And I too am very honored to be serving as a school board member with every one of these individuals. And I offer to you my support. I am ready to do great things for Levy County.
Thank you, Mrs. Campbell. Tell you what, those pretty good dissertations y'all did.
You
Not
thought I didn't have a speech ready.
much better than Whitehurst did.
I thought his was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm more liking her better.
My job be your friend up here. All right, anyway, now it's my turn. Gonna start with some important stuff, then get into not important stuff, then get into just hey. I don't know if y'all received yours, but every year I get an invitation to go get Thanksgiving lunch with a kid at our local schools. And I encourage everybody to go do that. It is a blast. It's an affordable meal, and it's a great meal, and it's Thanksgiving with a kid. And this will be the first year that I get to do it, and I need my kid there, so I'm going to get to eat with a stranger. So I think this is exciting. That'll be on the 21st, right, Miss Julia?
Tomorrow, yes.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Well, I'm going on the 21st.
You won't get your meal.
So go tomorrow, the 20th. I think y'all messing with me. You trying to get me to show up on the wrong day? It's the 20th? Okay. All right.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
I'm glad I brought it up too. I've been disappointed. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is naturally it's Thanksgiving. Lee Bronson FFA is also having a pie auction Thursday. And it's going to be on Facebook and on the Google Docs, so we encourage support there. I have no idea what kind of cakes and pies they'll have this year. It's all one big surprise, so it ought to be interesting. That's usually pretty good, though. The next thing, we won't meet before then, but the sub-district contests are going to be held in Bronson this year, so if you're interested in going and seeing that, it'll be at the Baptist Church in Bronson on the 12th of December. They are also looking for volunteers for judges and stuff, so if you are interested in that, they would love to hear from you. So we got all that out of the way. Let me tell you about something really important. We've all heard the story. Out of something bad comes something good, or a tragedy will make a blessing. That guy's my friend. It's a blessing that I know him. He's taken a horrible tragedy. He's made something good out of it. I love you, man. If we could clone him, I'd want a dozen of them. I'd want them to all be my friend. That's a great guy right there, just like all of y'all. I don't generally get too teared up about things, but Wilson gets to me. And you're a great guy. And he didn't do it because he wants that. He's like all our teachers. He actually loves kids. And that heartbreak to see something good out of that, it's amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much on that. The next thing I have is I said this last meeting, I say it again. I hate change, but change is inevitable. But I'm excited about change. If you'll look around, you'll notice right there, it says established in 1845. We are not the first board. We will not be the last board. But here's the thing. Since 1845, we've all worked together and we've worked together well. I fully expect us to continue working together well. We've got to get to know each other a little bit. We've got to understand each other's ways. I tend to try and bring a little humor up here simply because it can get dry. I would say to the new folks, ask questions. Even if you think you know the answer, ask questions. And there is no dumb question. Because the Sunshine Law is people you really need to talk to about things you can't talk to. But the people you need to talk to are those people out there. When I came on this board, I get to do this now because, as it's been pointed out, I'm the most senior one here, and I can remember my first day. After I was sworn in, I got a call from two guys and a conversation with one that was on the board. One of the guys called me, he was from Gilchrist County, and he said, "Congratulations." I said, "All right." He said, "You have no idea what your life is about to be like." He said, it's going to be good, it's going to be bad. He said, but the big thing is know this. Half the people don't like you right now and you haven't done anything. And I was like, what? He goes, that's just the way it is. You're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to do things sometimes that aren't popular. You're going to have to go on a completely different side of something from someone that's a very good friend, and that's just the way that is. And I was like, okay. And I thought he was crazy, but he turned out to be very right, and it's okay. The next piece of advice I got was from two guys that had been on the board a long time. One was retired and one was still on here, and we can't serve as long as they did now. But both of them told me, said, look, when you go over that agenda, when you have these things, do what you think is right. Forget about what Cameron Asbell, the person, wants. Do what is right. And you can always justify that. And people will disagree with you. But that's okay, because you can say, look, this is what I thought was right. So I encourage y'all, ask a bunch of questions, study everything you can, be patient with yourselves as well as the rest of us, because you got to learn it. To the folks out there, we have a brand new superintendent who's been on the board for 4 years, but great things are coming. But give her time. Have patience. We have 2 new board members. We have 3 old board members. Be patient with all of us too. We're going to get there. This place will continue to soar. And you know why I know we're going to be successful? I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I noticed this. Because I am now the old guy, and old guys notice this. Every time I've witnessed a swearing in, there are children at the swearing in. And one group of kids swore in at the same time. So you know what? One day, that's going to say 2045. We'll be at 200 years. We're going to notice that. Those kids that swore in with their grandmother tonight might be up here. And we're going to take care of it. And we're going to give it to them. And it's going to be better than we found it. That's a promise from all of us. I appreciate you being here tonight. We're going to adjourn quick and reopen. So hang on. It ain't cake time yet. Okay? Any more business for this meeting? Seeing none. Meeting adjourned. I'll now call this meeting of the Levy County Finance Authority to order and turn the gavel over to the superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to now ask for nominations for the president of the Levy County Finance Authority for the year 24-25.
Nominate Cameron Asbell.
I have a nomination for Mr. Asbell. I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Nominations cease. Excuse me. Forgot the nomination. Look, I already forgot my job already.
I blew mine earlier.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Mr. Asbell will be president for the Levy County Finance Authority. I now will return the gavel back to the chairman.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. I'll now entertain nominations for the secretary of the Levy County Finance Authority.
Nominate Tammy Moore.
Any further nominations? Seeing none, nominations cease. All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Thank you for being here with us.
Have the reorg